It's an interesting matchup, this one, isn't it? Tyloo versus Virtus.pro.
You don't even really know who to call the favorite in this one, especially considering like Virtus.pro is just time and time again they like to disappoint us. You kind of expect that comeback to finally start happening, and then you see them play, and you're thinking, what's going on here? On the other hand, I like Tyloo. I mean, they're a team that can be volatile. A lot of things can look really, really good at one point in time, and then all of a sudden the next round they're just doing things that don't make any sense at all. But just the sheer amount of individual skill and the explosiveness this team has, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Are they missing Mo?
Is he also not at this tournament?
Don't know. As far as I'm aware,
I was not aware of that.
Okay.
Oh, maybe they have a stand-in again then, because that was the situation before. The problem was, obviously, he was the in-game leader and, like, AWPA, secondary AWPA, depending on who's in the team. And so part of the problem is, actually, maybe I think the in-game leader might have switched to that Excurate guy now, who's also from Singapore. So if they don't have Mo, I think they are to a degree. But also, I do think that the Excurate guy, as far as I know, he is the in-game leader. I noticed the team actually changed and improved since he joined. He actually joined, I think, just before the first Star Series of the year, which is the one where they already had some good results. They beat Fnatic, who obviously we since then know was a very good team, actually went on to win titles themselves. So they've been a pretty dangerous team, actually, whereas the sad thing about Tyloo is everyone remembers when they burst on the scene, they beat Luminosity, who were the world champions, because every tournament since that, people kept saying that, they beat the world champions, get ready, guys, and they would just go like 0-5 in every group, and they'd never get out, and they'd never impress, and all they were able to do was beat Renegades, basically, in the minor every year, which, to be fair, everyone was beating Renegades back then. Sponge, listen, you're better on this side of the disc, mate, not the other one. But anyway, part of the issue is they've had to totally change the lineup. Like, half of them are now in Vici Flash, you notice, so it's a different squad. They've got not only Excurate, but crucially Bentet, and not only is he in the team now, but partly because he's got another person who's not Chinese, so he's not stuck him trying to speak Chinese, as far as I know, because they've got two players who aren't Chinese. They actually speak English now. I saw a video where they were commenting in English. It was very limited, but they apparently take that approach now.
Yeah, apparently they go back and forth. They translate back and forth between Chinese and English in the game.
Which
That's
I think is telling, because if you've noticed, Bentet is now finally hitting that potential everyone was telling us about last year, but you never really saw in the big international tournaments. Now he's having big carry performances. He was the guy who was going off against Na'Vi at Star Series. Also, I think somebody, which obviously everyone puns his name all the time, but he's actually a pretty good player. I mean, I think he's pretty skilled as well. So even though the players they lost to Vici were some of the big names, I actually think some of that was kind of like fool's gold. I think the players they kept were the good players, basically. And so I think right now they're the favourite in this matchup, even though VP's got the big name, and they certainly have some talent in their squad.
Okay. What maps are going to suit them?
Well, that's the interesting detail, because when they played against Na'Vi, I believe they won on Overpass, and it might have been, I think, Mirage, actually. I think Na'Vi might have picked Mirage, bizarrely. We know Virtus.pro always bans Overpass, though, so in that scenario it makes sense. Tyloo bans Nuke, because actually it's one of the few maps that really never fully betrayed Virtus.pro. They were always able to play it. Picking Train, I think, makes logical sense here. Again, it's been like a mainstay for a long, long time. The Mirage pick from Tyloo definitely makes sense. Even though Virtus.pro will always play it, because it's always in their map pool, they're not that great at it anymore, to be honest, and they kind of play like very reactive CS on it. Banning Inferno, I'm going to go ahead and assume yes, that's probably a good one for Tyloo. Having Cash in the middle is a very interesting one, because, first of all, I know Tyloo have been a team to play that in the past. Virtus.pro have never really liked this map, though, frankly.
Yeah, ever since they got beaten up by Kingman 16-0.
It still traumatizes them, yes.
And it's been like, what, 3 years ago? But yeah, I agree. I mean, Mirage, Cash are actually two maps that the Chinese team really have always been really good at. They've always been fine playing those. So in the terms of map pool, I think this actually looks really, really good for Tyloo. Also, just the way, like Duncan was saying, Mirage used to be 4 years ago a great map for Virtus.pro, but not really since. No. It's been a one that they won here and there, but in the big picture, it's never been something they can be very comfortable on. In the meanwhile, Tyloo always liked this map. That's when they famously had a lot of their upsets on as well. So this is, I feel, again, sad to say, but looks really, really good for Tyloo. Yeah, pretty good map veto overall, I think, actually. I mean, on the Virtus.pro side of things, I don't really know what they could have done differently. I think those are pretty much the right maps to be. Like, I don't really know that I'd want Inferno as the decider. It's not really a map that suits them either. So, unfortunately, this just tells you where Virtus.pro is as a team, where if you can't really get like a decent map veto against a team that's not an elite side, you're probably not an elite side yourself. You're in a bad situation, basically. Yeah, and that's because they have a very narrow pool right now as well. Yes, this is part of the issue. They have a narrow everything right now, unfortunately. Okay. If they have a standout, though, in the team, who is it right now? Who's going to help them? Pasha. Yeah? Pasha? Yeah. He has definitely been improved recently. I will say at Star Series also, he's brought back the AWP. Like, obviously, it's been a couple of years there.
little spoiler, everyone, they sort of banned him from the AWP, basically, because when he had a period where he was doing badly, they sort of just told him, like, you're not allowed to AWP anymore, mate. He was like, okay, because if you remember his AWPing style, even when he was at his best, was like charging at people and going really close range, which is not, again, not traditionally how you use an AWP. So he's allowed to back on it now, I think partly because Snax is having his own issues. They don't have Taz. Neo's kind of having his own problems. So I'll personally actually plump for Bialy, because the thing is, despite the fact he always seems to draw the community higher because people know he likes to parachute down and kill 99 people instead of 5 people in a Counter-Strike server, he's still a very skilled player, though. And the thing is, he's still got that crisp aim. And when he's playing like that, he can be the guy who can outskill the opponent, so he can really give Virtus.pro a chance that at the moment they don't get that often, because actually skill-wise they've kind of degraded as a roster. So I'm going to plump for Bialy.
Okay. If Tyloo are looking at Virtus.pro for weak points, where are they going to find it?
Everywhere. Unfortunately, everywhere.
Are they going to exploit anything, though? Are they going to exploit a particular player or a position?
I feel like Tyloo, all they got to do is play their own game. You know, try to make sure that they're trading effectively, that they're being wise when it comes to mid-round and late-round situations, and just play together. I feel like that's going to be the medicine here, because Virtus.pro just it's really hard to pinpoint what is exactly the problem, honestly.
Right. Okay, I'm getting the message. You're a Virtus.pro hater. It's fine.
I'd like to see it win.
I'm getting you a chance to redeem yourself now.
I'm honest.
Predictions.
I actually hope they lose, so that then they make roster moves and become a better team. See, I came
on
the back.
That's a different approach.
So let's get some very quick predictions, because I'm hearing that the game is almost about to start.
2-0.
Okay.
Well, you have to get 16 rounds, so 2-0, the game wouldn't even be over. No, I'll obviously go. I'm going to say also, I'll say 2-1, actually. I think Virtus.pro could win Train, but I think Tyloo's going to win this series. Like, I think they're just a better team. They're even a more skilled team.
Interesting. Some fiery thoughts here on the panel, as you come to expect. This time, head back to our commentators, though. They are ready to bring you our second series. Let's hope it's a good one. Tyloo versus Virtus.pro.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Paul, and the desk as well. We are going to head into the game. Another best of 3 coming up, and it's only the second of the day. There's going to be much more happening throughout the whole day. Of course, Dan and James are going to be joining later on, but Van and I have the pleasure of bringing you this this game, which is going to be interesting. Tyloo, you like Tyloo, don't you?
I love Tyloo, actually. I think they're super fun to watch, especially because they keep making progress. And I think what we saw out of them at their last bout, or I guess their kind of last international tournament tour, if you could call it that, starting off with Sydney and so on, you saw significant progress. Obviously, they went to Star Ladder. They beat Navi 2-0 to start off the tournament, which is pretty impressive, especially considering Navi ended up winning the tournament as well. They've just made strides after you've kind of been disappointed at times, right? To see these Asian teams coming into tournaments, they've shocked you once. You're hoping that they'll build on it, then they let you down. Now they've actually had a consistent string of tournaments where they've been showing the same, showcasing the same thing over and over again in a positive manner. So I'm really excited to see where this takes them. And the fact that also they were able to adjust with the fact that Captain Mo had to go out with an arm injury.
Yeah,
and bringing in AE instead. Yeah, segues are dangerous. Much rather do I don't know.
Which is the worst tragedy that we've had? Is it Captain Mo on the Segway, or is it Peter's passport being eaten by his dog? Like, both these stories are kind of ridiculous, you know?
Oh yeah, no, there's been some curious ones.
Could we have like a mix of the two, where like Peter's dog rides a Segway to eat somebody, and then that would be the next level?
Somebody breaks their arm lifting a passport, like.
Wait. That smoke is going to go all the way and land on the B side of connector, and another smoke. So they've pretty much circled in the B connector. How are they going to respond to this? That's really interesting. Neo pushing all the way out. Virtus.pro looking for a deep strat here, and you can tell Tyloo aren't quite ready. Now, going to be a good kill for somebody. Indeed, a great follow-up headshot. Snax not even able to reply at all. That's a bit of a problem, and Sandra is going to be picking up the kill on Pasha. Bialy to go down, and Tyloo adjusted perfectly, but Virtus.pro got so deep into the bomb site, it looked like they had the advantage.
Yeah, no, they had a really cool initial setup for the strategy there. Again, deep smokes got out into yard and pretty far forward as well without meeting any sort of resistance, really. It looks to be pretty promising, but yeah, I think one of the things that really, I guess you wouldn't expect to say, if you turn back the time a little bit, is that I think in this matchup, there's no doubt that Tyloo has by far the better individual players, and by a pretty significant margin as well.
So Vendetta would talk like that, you're going to have people in your Twitter comments just not
Probably,
happy.
But I would like to see them prove me wrong.
Listen, we all would at this point. I think I think if Virtus.pro doesn't make it out of this group, there's going to be some speculation, some more talk going on. You know, people are going to start to wonder
what's really happening. Well, I think people have been wondering what's happening for quite some time. But yeah, no, that would definitely hit a new high in that sense. But this Tyloo team has, for the longest time, been exceptionally skilled individually. Again, same trend as with a lot of the Asian teams. It's good individual skill, not exactly up to date on what they're doing tactically, and their decision-making definitely has some work to do. But I feel like Tyloo has just gotten leaps and bounds better with that. For like, if you go back the last 6 months, that's just been immense improvement. Yeah. And it's incredible that they're able to do it in the way they're doing it as well, because Bentet and Exacurate, or Excurate, don't actually speak Mandarin. Like, we saw the video out of Kiev, right? Where they're filming them as they're talking. There's literally like live translations going on, mixture between like 3 different languages. It's just a nightmare, but they somehow make it work.
See if they make it work in this round. Virtus.pro trying to push down. They've got quite a lot of grenades in here, but they're getting shut down. DD will get 2 big kills, and Bentet and somebody also helping out. Snacks picking up a good kill, actually doing wonderful work here with the P250. Testimony to the fact how powerful that pistol is. Almost getting the triple. That would have been nice. The bomb was still on the other side, so he couldn't really have gone for that. But he does a bit of damage, which is worth something.
It's better than nothing for sure, but Tyloo managing to fend off the initial storm, and bomb plant denied as well. That does mean that Virtus.pro are not going to be able to invest into a 3rd round too easily, or do like any sort of like monkey buy. Maybe you just go with Galil's armor, drop AKs, that kind of stuff. So Tyloo looking to get to 3-0, and this is Virtus.pro's map pick. And I feel like for the longest time, Train has pretty much been the only reliable map that Virtus.pro has been able to go to, and that worries me. So for this to go to a 3-mapper, I actually think Virtus.pro needs to pick up Train.
We're going to find out. This round, they don't really have a lot to play with. Just the Glocks mostly. We'll see. I mean, we spoke about individual firepower, and even if Tyloo has more than Virtus.pro, even if we accept that premise, I still can't think of a good reason why Virtus.pro shouldn't be like a much better team than they are. Because you just start to look at the individual skill, it should just be so good.
They have been so good.
Yeah.
With pretty much the exact same lineup, right? And it's not like they've completely abandoned everything that's named strategy or anything to that effect, right? Like, they still have the ability and potential to run this like similar things or complicated strategies and whatnot, but I don't know. Like, a lot of the times you see, again, like this is pure speculation, and we don't necessarily know how much time they've put into that from an individual point of view, right? Like, outside of just team practice, but you definitely can see that on players when they've gone into a tournament or for an extended period of time of, let's say, 3 months, been playing over 100 hours every 2 weeks. Yeah. Like what that does to an individual's performance, and I don't know. Like, at a certain point, you've tried to search out for so many different answers that I think that might just be the one that's unexplored at this point.
Yeah, we can definitely tell there's been a loss of confidence overall in the individual players on Virtus.pro. We see it in interviews, and they're just not currently looking the best that they could. But we don't know about this tournament yet. It could be different. That's a beautiful flashbang, at least, setting up for Neo to get the kill on DD. He never had any chance to really reply to that one. Virtus.pro off to a good start here in their first rifle round. Banks don't do much. The jump, though, will reveal that somebody is down there. He's going to back off, which I think is a smart idea. Once you've been spotted, it's a bit dangerous.
It's going to rain nades down. Pop, if you overstay, you're welcome. Maybe, though, with the man advantage, still have some utility to speak of. They only have 2 smokes, though, so it's going to be a limit to how much they can close out of the yard area, and it's seemingly where they want to go as well. Neo's going to pick up the bomb. But they have to be pretty crisp with their execution here onto the bomb site. There's 3 players from Tyloo still outside. They've just decided to put Bentet as a sole defender on inner. Nice Molotov as well to buy some extra time.
Yes, really well timed, in fact. Kind of puts a lot of pressure on the Pasha on the other side. Neo will be getting 1 kill. Pasha trying to push through. Neo with a very, very good return. That was much needed. Still a 4-on-2 here. The bomb should be going down. Bentet does a bit of damage with it, but not really quite enough to make it worth it. And now, saturate, see if he can maybe do anything here from this position. The AWP doesn't want to push into the site, and I don't really blame him. I mean, if...
Oh, did he see?
He might have seen some of these.
The booty.
The booties. Ben's head's already fallen away, so
Yeah.
it's just a question of him looking for exits at this point.
All right. Tyloo give up the round. At least they'll be able to hold on to it. Well, if not 2 weapons, at least 1. Because that AWP is going to be safely tucked away in Ivy. That might get figured out. Actually, he's going to be able to pick up an AK off the back of that. If
Did it? Oh,
I was about to say if it just blew away, right?
It looked like it just swept underneath the truck.
Need to get the vacuum cleaner out. But yeah, they managed to hold on to 2 weapons at least, so they can replenish around that with how successful their anti-eco was. That's a solid sign. And now they have the opportunity to kind of break Virtus.pro right at the beginning of the game and get up to a pretty significant lead, actually.
See Virtus.pro, Mihu pretty quick in there, but not looking to take the challenge. Instead, it seems like they're just going to set up in main for a little bit. Sacred. Oh, how do you pronounce that exactly?
From what Leia told me, it's X-Curate.
X-Curate.
Yeah, I can only see X-Accurate.
Yeah, that's very true. We're gonna have to get Blair on the phone at some point. Well, he's gone down regardless. And he's got next in line. The snack's gonna be returned upon pretty quick, and Benton and somebody doing a good job making it a 3-on-3, even if he's low on health. This might still work out. Bialy trying to sneak into the bomb site, and yeah, that's a little bit of a problem. Somebody already down. And now they've got a choice to make. I mean, with this position for DD, they can still contest the bomb site. Good headshot taking down Pasha. It's not out of the question yet, but Bentet's quite far away.
It still is pretty far away, yeah. He managed to down Mihu, but hasn't been able to close too much ground. But Virtus.pro are taking their time with this, so it's going to allow for Bentet to get closer at least. Popdog is currently covered off. That smoke's going to fade as well. So if he finds the right timing, while Neo's planning, Bialy's not really in a spot to do anything with this. Oh. Sound is going to give away 1 position. So now he knows where Neo is, and he probably heard where Bialy snuck over to, or ran over to. Still, though, 22 HP. It's going to be a tough task. He's actually just going to hold on to it. He's not willing to risk it.
It's at the 22 health as well. Very hard to check all those corners, so...
Yeah, he was relying heavily on Bentet being able to do anything coming out of Pop.
Yeah, he really was. It's a bit of a shame because Tyloo kind of needed to hold on to some of the guns early on here. Letting Virtus.pro into the game really early on, even if they only survive with 2 members here, VP, that's still just fine. They're loving it. And we haven't even... I actually think one of the pleasant surprises, I'll say this about the recent shape that Virtus.pro has been in, although I'm saying at the point where he's 0-0-5, I think, but Pasha's been just a very, very good player, obviously.
Definitely so.
Oh, and Neo's birthday today? It is.
Really? The legend.
The augmented reality. Happy birthday, Philip. It's, yeah.
31.
I can't even believe that he's only 31.
He's been around for so long.
That's...
Like... I can't wait to see the point where like people are actually becoming like 20-year veterans at this game as a professional player. That is just too cool. So happy birthday, Neo. Hopefully he can cap this off with a series win versus Tyloo. Would be a nice way to start things off. Maybe send Virtus.pro back on the right path.
We're going to be picking up 1 there on AE. Neo taking down somebody. And obviously they only have mostly pistols. They saved the M4 from the last round. They might just want to save it again into the next one. X-Curate picking up the kill on Bialy. We're getting used to saying that. Blair, help us out if we're doing it wrong.
Learning slowly.
We are.
Alright, some damage being done here. DD.
And that was Mihu AWPing, wasn't it?
Yeah. So they do drop the AWP, and that does give them an opportunity to actually potentially pick up something, but Pasha, he knows there's an AWP on the ground. He wants that bad boy. Already trapped DD here.
Coming in from every angle. They're going to run and pick up the AWP, it looks like. Yes, Neo will be able to do that. So tying up the scoreline at 3-3. And that is a nice return into the game here for Virtus.pro, and without really much delay at all. Yeah, we've had so many birthdays recently, I feel like, in the
I feel like everybody's born in June.
Yeah, for whatever reason, right? Forrest, Get Right, was just having a birthday as well.
Yeah, he had it during Starladder, didn't he?
So there's probably a couple of more that I just forgot about. I swear I saw, like...
Some of the Danes. Easy had his birthday a couple of days ago.
What's happening?
Like, apparently, like, everybody's born in June.
So if you want
pro.
your kid to
Yeah.
Mine's born in March, so
Oh, you
does
missed
that
out.
include him?
That's it's done.
Listen,
Well, you tried. Did what you could.
my experience with esports, Ben, I'm not gonna lie, might not want Walter to get involved. Might be better if he just
Stays back a bit.
Oh,
That is brutal.
that jumped up to catch him. It actually just jumped up to head height.
Magnetic nades is now a thing.
Oh man, but the spray battle was interesting. I mean, Snacks almost, I think he took as much damage as Bentet did, so not clear who came out. The grenade did kind of settle it.
Still not giving up pop control, though, which is nice to see. We saw MVP having issues with that versus Heroic. But Tyloo, I like this. I like the position of Pop Dog more so than playing aggressively from A main, simply because you can swing around, you can be covered in a much bigger manner, and it's going to take a significant amount of utility to force you out. Like one Molotov is not going to cover the entire Pop Dog area.
Nope. Yeah.
Now it also gives you a quicker rotation towards center, which is where Virtus.pro seemingly want to go, at least initially. Maybe BL and Posh are up to something funky, but they are going to get Neo with them, with the bomb as well. So a bit of a fake being thrown by Snacks and Mihu towards the yard. And well, quick execution from Bialy onto DD.
Combined with the fake, keeping essentially 3 people out in the yard, that's great. Although somebody, as you said, the flank is what's really quick when you're holding that Pop Dog position. He's going to go down to Pasha anyway, and that's a bit of a shame. I think they might want to back off. Snacks actually is waiting. Excurate? Taking down Snacks? Yeah. It's so hard to say that. I don't know why.
You've been so used to saying Exacurate, right?
Yeah.
Well, I blame Sipnix for all of this, or Zipex for all of this. Like, that's how it was a downward slope from that point on.
It was. Listen, he dug his own grave. He's going to be Sipnix from now on. I don't care.
Could have had a 3 if you wanted to go with the lead speak, right? Like
he could have then it would have been fine. We would have known.
It doesn't even make sense like how it, I get like his explanation was it's a mirrored lead. But like if you go to Danish, it's 9 is knee, right?
Yeah.
So
that's why Sipnix makes sense.
Yeah.
It just
even if you try to like shorthand it in English, it still turns out with the same letters, right? So
maybe he's just wrong. Maybe
yeah, I think that's really what we've come to the conclusion of.
He's just got it the wrong way around.
Yeah. Well, we all make mistakes. I mean, he's made a couple of right choices, ending up in Astralis.
He's good at the game, so we'll just forgive
him.
We'll forgive all of it.
Pass.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Can't change his name though. That's off limits. 4-3.
And the tactical timeout for Tyloo.
Probably a good call at this point. You're losing, 4 rounds in a row. Doesn't exactly feel great.
Definitely so. And I think one of the things that we definitely would have liked to see out of MVP in their series was probably the use of more timeouts to really talk things through when things were obviously going wrong for them. Tyloo grabbing the issue more at hand, really. You see AE information on loan from Eclipse.
Yeah.
So he's in to fill the spot of Captain Mo. Their, I guess, intended primary opera on that side, together with Exacurate. Or no, Excurate.
There we go.
There we go. Well, Pasha's got the off. Doesn't have too much resistance to really go up against either, but Snack's just going to get the first blood here. Molotovs go out to the bomb train. Nice flick there from Pasha. Not able to follow it up, though.
No, but that was really good. And like I said, I think Pasha's been one of the really delightful players to watch on this.
It's been the one positive.
It really has been. Like on the downwards Virtus.pro spiral, he's actually been one of the players that's managed to do a pretty good job. So maybe we could look forward to more of that. Somehow Tyloo have managed to steal an AK-47 and see what Bentit can do. He's obviously one of the players that you really want to watch out for in this team. Yeah. Such an exciting player to look for, but he didn't really have a chance this time. He had no armor, I think, so he just got shut down almost immediately. And don't think there's much that DD can do. Virtus.pro, these rounds, even when they have them practically won, they're so safe in the way that they're playing them.
Probably had too many nightmare scenarios where they've given up easy rounds, right? Oh, DD.
How did he have the headshot on Mihu?
How did he not die? How did he do so much damage to Mihu? And how did he kill Bialy? So many questions.
That's mental. He just... He's at 75. Oh, the nerf has done absolutely nothing.
Who would have thought?
Oh, man.
Well,
Listen, I don't mind, you know, you can always nerf it more later if need be, but like, I think it's a fair enough approach to just try and...
it's a step in the right
yeah,
direction.
just try and see what happens, you know.
I still think it's just a poor design for the game of Counter-Strike.
It does change some of the balance of the game, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
we'll see if it'll find a reasonable way to be put into it.
One can always hope.
What really needs to be updated is obviously the R8. You know, we need to bring it back to the point where it's essentially an AWP.
Okay.
I kind of like that.
You need to quiet down now, Anders. Like, you just had too much Chinese Red Bull. Like, need to take a step back here. But
Chinese Red Bull's great.
does provide a kick, doesn't it? Well,
Excurate holding the angle with the AWP, and he's got some backup in front of him, which.
front up.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, if they double P that corner and he gets the first AWP kill, and the next guy suddenly has to fight someone with a rifle, that's very confusing.
Yeah, which is a massive get for Tyloo in that kind of a scenario. Would almost certainly mess up any sort of executes that Virtus.pro have had in mind, and they have done a fair few of these set executes as well. Pretty much all their buy rounds up to this point, but it's going to be Excurate to actually find the first frag. Somebody's going to follow up with the second one as well, so entrance to the yard area not being allowed by Tyloo.
Bentet swinging around the other side of the E-box, but still unable to actually do anything about it. So 2-on-3. Excurate coming with the kill there on Snacks. That's pretty good, and I think that should pretty much secure them the round. The bomb is down out by that E-box, so
15 seconds left. Pasha with an op. Better off to just hold on to that weapon. And it's pretty fun to see, obviously, Excurate, former teammate of Bentet in, I want to say Reka was the Indonesian team that they played together in. But in any case, it's cool to see him being brought in as a result of Bentet having a lot of success in Tyloo, but also being able to step up to the plate, right? He more or less took over the main opping role from Captain Mo after showing his prowess. But you know, there's always a bit of a scary transition to have somebody who, first off, don't speak the language, but also hasn't necessarily been proven on the same level as the Tyloo members had, because they were the one Asian team to go to a lot of these tournaments, right? So to see him actually jumping into it and actually being able to go toe-to-toe with some of the best operators in the world is really, really fun.
do we know when he's coming back, Captain Mo? Is there any word on that?
I'm not a doctor, surprisingly, so I'm not sure what the time frame is on how long it takes out, because he broke his... No, it's broke one of the bones in his arms at least.
Oh, God.
So I would imagine it's like 4 to 5, 6 weeks maybe of time on the sideline.
Really good shot from Pasha to start off with, reading the situation extremely well. Excurate trying to see if he could push up and do anything at this point. The flashbang did more to Snacks than it really did to the enemy AWPer, so that's a bit of a shame now. It's a 4-on-4. Pasha playing it closely. He's got a good angle. If you can hold this angle on the T side, it's really, really efficient. AE going down and Pasha not able to pick it up. There is a smoke covering him from the other side at least, so doesn't have to worry too much about that. 4 versus 3. And again, Virtus.pro being very, very slow and methodical, and it seems to be working out.
It's working out really well. So even though they haven't necessarily moved all that much on the map up to this point, they've still managed to spread out the Tyloo defense. Just getting picks, and now all on their lonesome on the various sites, and the timing just not in favor of Excurate there. Pasha's going to find the easy pick, and that's going to be the round, pretty much. Benton down to 10 HP. Might actually
What do
have
they call those things that he fell on, Captain Mo? I can't remember suddenly.
Segway?
Oh yeah, it's a Segway.
Yeah.
Do you know what? So here's my thought.
For a little second there, I thought you like forgot the word for floor.
Oh,
I was like, what?
listen, you never know. So you know there are, if you go to the airport or something, sometimes, or even like I think even America, I've seen it sometimes in like a mall. You'll see like essentially cops on Segways riding around. So maybe he's practicing for like a future update of Counter-Strike that we don't know about, where they have Segways. You
Captain Mo Malkoff. It's like the third installment of the Paul Blart series.
See, AWP on Segway, just.
Imagine the kickback on that thing.
Yeah. Maybe that's the downside.
That's why you implement the seatbelt on the Segway.
Yeah, you need all the upgrades.
Maybe like those helper reels, right, that people have when they learn how to use a bike. You put that on the back of it, right? So you can't tip
over.
backwards.
That makes sense.
I think we figured it out.
So maybe he's talked to Valve and you know something that we don't.
Might be.
The Segway update. Then you get the riot shield on the Segway and charge the bomb.
You can actually mount this shield on the Segway.
Just have it glued on there. Snax is done with playing slowly. Instead, he's just charging in. He knows they don't have any weapons or anything. He does get shot in the back of the head, though, so a little bit scary. DD not able to pick it up, although they do almost line up for him. Could have been a scary double kill in the middle of the round. I like the idea of sort of throwing in a little bit of speed sometimes, but you've got to be careful as well. They do only lose Snax so far, and Bentet can't really make it out. So 7-4 right now. Virtus.pro are playing at a much higher level in this first half, at least. Yeah,
the birthday boy himself doing pretty well for himself, as you can see. 12 kills to his name, topping the charts. 98.1.6 ADR.
We talked yesterday when we were watching Forest play about the idea that if you sort of strip the HUD and you just remove the player name, you would still be able to recognize Forest as the guy playing. I think you could probably say the same about Neo. Like, it just, there's something about the way that he moves and plays.
I think it would have been easier on 1.6, obviously, because of how fluid Neo was. He was
especially
like
on
water.
train.
Yeah, exactly. Just bouncing around those trains and everything.
Oh, not bad at all. Somebody's still going to go down. Snax feeling very good at the moment, picking up a couple of kills. He's going to be completely flashed as Snax comes through. That's a free kill. He's going to absolutely love that. Yeah, they spot X-Curate running back, so they've already done enough damage. DD, the flank, probably not going to make any difference at this point.
If there's going to be any hope of it, he's going to have to do a lot of the work. That doesn't find Neo, but still, very spread out Virtus.pro team. They can play this after plant so easily. So many like nooks and crannies that you need to clear out.
Look at Pasha even flanking. He actually went up Pop Dog and is now coming in the same path that DD did. So if DD had stayed alive, that would have been almost impossible to guess. And X-Curate running away.
It's very well done. Snax is already on the hunt. Snax has been getting a lot of openings, really, running out of A main. I mean, I guess to be fair, a lot of them have been against Ecos, but even in this round, finding the opening that Virtus.pro needs.
Getting very close. The AWP, oh, is he going to stay alive? No, it won't. Pasha just at the end. That's actually so important.
Pasha's all over the map, really. T-spawn, C-spawn, you name it. And here you see the openings that Snax finds. Double kill towards Pop, and then a with a really unfortunate timing. If that flash is just a little bit later, he's going to find Snax running through the smoke and probably equalize and into a 3v3 situation, which is much easier to deal with for Tyloo. But nonetheless, 8 rounds for Virtus.pro, looking pretty solid so far.
Okay, that's annoying. Long range headshot. DD sneaking up, taking a fight anyway against Mihu. I think that's a bit bold.
Gotta believe.
You have to.
Bentet, next man up to bat. Should be a little bit more measured in his approach. Might actually hear. Nope. That is the inner bomb side open. But to be fair, Yard is also going pretty well for Virtus.pro, so no real resistance is being met there. Only somebody left with a P250 in his hands. For now, Virtus.pro doing an excellent job, and one of the things they did really well initially as well. They started off their tournament in Kiev as well versus HGO, fellow Polish team. And one of the things they did really well was their T side. They were able to find so many openings through Pasha with that op in A main, Snax going aggressively and so on. But once they got onto the CT side, it was just a complete meltdown. So even if they were to get to 11 rounds or something like that sort, I'm not completely convinced that Virtus.pro are going to be able to close it out. They had to rely a lot on Snaxy on that CT side to actually get to OT in that game.
That is one of the fears that you're having at this point in time with the VP. Is just that, you know,
you're never safe.
No, like even when they look good, you just always worry that right under the surface there's something else that you're not seeing. But as we said, I mean, I actually just feel like I'm repeating myself a lot these days when commentating Counter-Strike. Is just that there are so many teams where they have the players, but it still isn't working. Like there's so many teams now where I think about that. Virtus.pro might be the most extreme example, but we're gonna make it back around the corner. X-Curate with a good job there.
Yeah, he's been doing a good job of actually, like, when he gets into awkward situations, be it because of flashes or smokes that are well put down by VP, he's not afraid to go aggressive and actually look for
Interesting way to use the wall of smokes. Neo manages to creep in. Normally you could get the bomb carry up here, but Neo actually just tries to get close. And when the smoke fades, he gets one. Could have almost been a double, and Snacks will eventually find AE that Neo was helping to kill down towards Ivy. So it's still a 3-on-3 here. There is a flank coming in from DD again, and Bentet on the bomb site needed to stay alive somehow and wasn't able to. So now they're in trouble once again.
DD with the long flank.
No kit.
Yep. They need to be quick about this. DD with the long flank, and he's done this 2 times already now. Pasha, not really ready for it. Okay, so it seems like Tyloo is just have no interest of actually going for this after playing, because DD's taking so long. He's found Pasha, but while he's fumbling around there, Xcurit's going to get taken out, so he's going to have to hold on to that op and bail out.
Yeah.
That just took way too long.
Yeah, it definitely did. Like, no smoke, no kit. They would have never been able to defuse that bomb, so 10 rounds for Virtus.pro.
Looking good so far, definitely does. One issue that we're running into here, whenever Virtus.pro are attacking this yard area, AE is not really able to contribute anything at all. He's not able to stem any sort of push from Virtus.pro's side. He's not helping Tyloo being able to get rotations in order. And a lot of the times you see either somebody or Bentet kind of just being stuck on an island where they have to fend off 3 different angles. So that's not going to be a recipe for success. So AE needs to be able to actually win one duel.
I mean, that strat that we just saw with Neo sneaking up behind the wall, it's actually just great. I wonder if we're going to see that again from other teams, because that's a really powerful way to get that close. Because when the smoke fades, they don't see anybody. The bomb isn't down. They just think, oh, maybe it was like a fake of some sort. And then if you move anywhere at that point in time, he's probably just going to get the kill on you.
Yeah.
That's a really cool idea.
VP have been tactically very sound so far on this T side, in all honesty.
Makes you a little bit scared, doesn't it?
Well, it gives you hope, right? And that's the scary part.
Yeah, you don't want to be lured back into it. Like, heart's been broken so many times.
Not this again. Well, the boost over the smoke. We saw MVP being able to deal with this when I worked through it at them, but oh, that's going to be slow crawl. That's too easy for Pasha. But once again, first frag goes in the favor of Virtus.pro. That's been a pretty consistent trend throughout this first half.
Yeah, they've been doing a very good job at that kind of thing. They've left DD alone on the B-bomb side right now. Tyloo need to find a way to just get this last round. Preferably if they can win the pistol in the second half. Then we might have a real game on our hands, but 11-4 is almost too much. Bentet picking off Snacks, a bit aggressive in main. I kind of like that, and I don't think they actually saw him, but it was really close. He gets the shot right through the floor, taking down Mihu, and that's a good job. And AE going to be able to pick up the alley, so now it's just Pasha and Neo, 2 versus 4 with 20 seconds. I don't think you can slow walk this. I think at this time it's time to just run and gun. 15 seconds, need to get on the bomb side right away. They're still being a little bit too slow here. 10 seconds now on the clock, and Neo going to get the headshot on Bentet. But again, they've left themselves pretty much no time. And it's going to be an attempted bomb plant. AE will able to pick it up at the end. So 10-5 favoring Virtus.pro, but Tyloo still having a bit of a say at the end.
Yeah. AE finally being able to get into the game. Doubles his frag total in that last round with pretty impactful frags. Finds Bialy, who's wrapping around and obviously able to shut down the bomb plant. But yeah, Virtus.pro taking that methodical approach a little bit too far. Nonetheless, though, great first half for Virtus.pro. I'm just really interested to see what they're going to be able to do with their CT side, especially if they get off to the wrong foot, right? Lose pistol, and you're always going to be in that wonky place where you can afford to buy, but it's not necessarily going to be the greatest of buys. Maybe you have to double eco. All of a sudden, Tyloo are tying things up. Like, where do you go from there?
They've got a really good setup out here with the A yard. 4 people waiting for Tyloo as they try to make their way through, although Xcurit and somebody just having a very good opening to the round, getting a kill each. Neo only with the one in return. The bomb is down immediately.
And they've vanished from the site.
Yeah, pretty much. The hope right now surely has to be that Bialy can come in and try and help them, but that's being covered right now. Smoke is going to be up on the bomb, but they're just sort of running around. That creates a bit of a distraction. Enough for Bialy to come in. He's going to get 1 kill, but there's nobody defusing any longer, and they're waiting inside of the smoke. They're going to come running out. There were like 3 people hiding in that smoke. Tyloo going to win the pistol.
I mean, you can talk about doing things by committee, right? That was the entire Tyloo team just diving on that smoke. after the first tap onto the bomb.
Essentially saying, listen, there could be a lot of ways we could lose this round, but somebody
This is not one of them.
Not one of them. There's
Well,
just going to be
having
nobody in
4
that
people
smoke.
just peppering that smoke with bullets. Then it works out. They do find 2 kills. So I guess we can't argue with the results, but it did look a little bit scary there for a moment. If they can't find them in the smoke immediately, that gives Bialy all the time in the world to really make something out of that flank. Well, there we are. So at least first part of the prophecy, where it could get really rough for Virtus.pro, comes true. Tyloo win the pistol. Would you have a scout in the hands of Pasha, though, and a couple of pistols upgraded as well? So every piece of tag damage that Pasha is able to do is going to go a long way. Snacks is actually set up with a Zeus and Pop Dog. I mean, Snacks would be the kind of player to do this.
Yeah, why not? You know, we had Get Right Zeusing Zeus, and we had Zeus Zeusing other people.
Yeah, at least attempting to.
Yeah. No, he didn't he do it at some point?
Yeah, I think he had the Zeus in an underpass, right? When Kiyoshima was rotating over towards the B-bomb side on overpass. But he was sat crouched in a bit of an awkward angle, so you could see like half his body if you slow walk it. If Kyo were to run it, then you probably get a Zeus kill, but...
Yeah, I think we had 2 of them yesterday, if I'm not wrong.
Could be.
I
I actually think the Zeus is somewhat underutilized.
Yeah.
It's $100, right? So if you use it up close, like in what essentially should be like a clean eco, you can basically remove a player.
Oh, wow.
So good
Bialy.
to CZ.
That's great. CSET 75. They will get a good return to the bomb side. There's a flank coming in. Oh, God. Mihu with more headshots. Looking for the double, and he's going to get it. Taking down X-Crate, and now DD is going to be a little bit frustrated. Only 15 seconds. The bomb down on the low ground. It's almost impossible to win this round. He's going to lose as well. Snacks will take him down. Bialy, and then Mihu to follow up. Beautiful round here.
Yeah, just really solid job by Bialy, but I'm really curious as to what is X-Curate looking at. Teammates on bomb side drops, so there's an extremely limited amount of angles that you can get shot from when you're planning behind the bomb train. One of them is definitely not connector.
Yeah.
So why does he jump up on lower
Was he thinking that?
platform and then aiming up towards the connector area?
Was he thinking that DD would cover him from the high ground, like coming?
I guess that would have to be it, but I guess this is where the communication issue might pop in, right? Like the fact that X-Curate doesn't speak Chinese, DD doesn't speak Indonesian, and I guess his English isn't completely up to par, right?
Yeah, I mean, all it takes is a couple of seconds, right?
Yeah, and that really was the case. I think they would be perfectly fine if they're able to stabilize, remove Mihu after finding the 1 frag. They can play that 2v2. They can still deny weapons, because if X-Curate doesn't go down, less likelihood of Snacks being able to pick up an AK down and lower. And they don't, like, yeah, they were pressed for time, but they could still plan towards the back end of the inner bomb site. Snacks, very aggressive in A main. He's going to find somebody. The rest of the Tyloo team posted up towards the inner bomb site. No utility, though, so they're just going to have to throw bodies at this and hope for the bomb plant, but that's smart move.
Yep.
Bialy combines with Pasha, Molotovs, nades, and AKs. That's going to be the end of the Chinese attempt to get a bomb plant on the inner bomb site.
Yeah, really good job. I mean, that early Molotov, just to make absolutely sure that it was going to be very hard to get the bomb down.
I think a lot of players would be just too greedy and think that this was like, I can do this with an AK. I can prevent them planning with this alone, which would be a mistake. Obviously, you're giving Tyloo potentially 800 more bucks to play with across the board.
Yeah, they love that. 12-6, and Virtus.pro just well on their way here on map number 1. Again, we don't want to get too hopeful yet.
No, we've been let down too many times, but
We're holding our breath at the moment.
yeah, so far so good. And Virtus.pro starting off the tournament at least in a positive fashion.
What are some of the other teams that, like, there are a couple of teams that I always look at and think, but they have the players. I mean, I think North is the other one where I'm like, but
they have the players.
But they have all the players they need.
Yeah.
Like,
They have a good in-game leader.
Yeah.
They usually come into tournaments with very solid game plans, ideas of what to do.
Yeah.
Good coach behind them. Like, obviously good like structure around them, and, you know, in the entire North organization and FCK. So
I actually think maybe that's the one thing that people might be flying under the radar right now is the impact that I think Abe will have long term on that team.
yeah, he's still fairly new in terms of like coaching, especially compared to someone, you know, of his former teammates like Zonic for Astralis, who's been in the game for a lot longer time in that sense.
follow up on that in a bit, but reality,
ZZs.
yeah, just they're working. They're still working. In case anyone hadn't caught on yet, they still do work.
Yeah. That's an AK picked up on DD. Might have opted to actually throw that over to someone else, but DD with the forward position is going to hold on to it for now. If he finds Pasha here.
Yeah, that would have been really epic, but it doesn't work out that way. So the AK is lost. They're still on the bomb side. They have armor on 2 people. I mean, Virtus.pro kind of need to get a move on here if they want a real shot at doing it, and it's not even going to happen. Kill coming in from Excurate. And now, yeah, they're going to have to back off.
Yeah.
This is kind of a ridiculous way to lose a round if you're VP.
I mean, the rotation just took so long.
Yeah.
Even after the Ollie goes down, if we just get a replay, you can look at the mini-map as to how the rotation from Virtus.pro comes in. They actually opt for the longest rotation times possible. And again, we talk about how powerful it is and how it is pretty much like if you talk about the fundamentals of Counter-Strike, for an inner rush on train, one of the fundamental things that you have to do is push forward to make rotations for CTs way, way harder. And again, if you fumble about your rotation time as the CT yourself, you're first off making the Ts have a much easier time, but like, how do you actually approach that? Like, you have no idea of like what kind of positioning they've been able to take, because again, the decay of information from the Ollie is going to be gone.
Yeah.
Like, none of that's going to be of any value anymore. So you're just kind of playing yourself in that situation. So even though DD doesn't get a frag with a very aggressive push into CT spawn, he still has more or less cleared out any sort of doubt in their mind on Tyloo's end that someone from VP could be a close-up.
Yeah, that's definitely a good detail to just try and remember. 12-7, Yali pushing up a little bit aggressively here. They are waiting for him at a slight off angle, and actually DD's going to be the one moving down. Bialy waiting for it, and that's a good kill to be taking. Just peeks around the corner, doesn't actually have to risk much more than he already did, so makes sense for him to fall back around. But look at where Mihu's been positioned down at Ivy. He's so far forward that that's going to give them so much confidence in pretty much the rest of the A defense.
Yeah. Question is whether or not A is actually going to follow up on this push through Ivy as a late lurk or not. If he joins Excurate in main, then that could be the difference maker, but there's no chance what are the odds of him checking this corner?
I'd say they're quite slim. He's thinking about it. He's actually doing it. Mihu going to be going down. That's some heads-up play. Whew. Very, very easy to overlook in your mind when you're like the...
If I'm Mihu there, I'm pissed.
Yeah. Absolutely. Maybe especially because you almost took him down. So.
You get the dink. If you had an AK, that's a win. Well, there you go. So they bring it back. AE does take significant damage, obviously, but you're happy to have 4 players alive and somebody is going to be able to find Pasha unaware as well. Neo, though, quick rotation here to help out Bialy.
Super important that he did that. Otherwise, I think the round would have gone in favor of Tyloo, but no chance, no time either. And somebody very dangerous. He does take down Snacks, actually, so that's a pretty big kill to end with. But if he had gone down, that would have been a bit of a nightmare.
He tried to get the hands on his off.
Just to briefly bring the conversation back to Ave and North and everything, I hadn't really had a chance to really talk much to Ave until we were in Ukraine, in Kiev. And I don't want to sort of betray their trust or anything, but after that conversation, I was like, oh,
they got something going.
This team is going to change a lot, I think. So
I mean, Ave was one of the tactical masterminds of 1.6, right?
Yeah, I would say that was obviously a given from the whole MTW situation, but I just didn't have like a hands-on feeling of why that might be or like how that worked. Now I would say I've got like a slightly different perspective. So.
Oh really? Like you didn't get to like didn't get a confirmation on your previous assumption.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's gonna be interesting to see. I think might be a fun ride. Might be if you're not already someone who follows North and their crazy adventures. You know, now might be a good time to start doing that.
Get on the bandwagon.
I think so. 14-7 is what we're looking at now. So Virtus.pro well on their way to picking up this first map, and I don't know. I haven't seen anything out of Tyloo at the current moment that makes me think there's a good way for them to swing back and maybe win this game.
Yeah, no. I think it's going to have to be more on Virtus.pro fumbling than Tyloo doing anything else.
They bought the auto shotgun, so it's done.
Yeah, the alligator's out. Just hunting.
The vacuum cleaners.
Oh yeah, Dupree. Yeah, for those who haven't played with Dupree, whatever.
Don't is the short answer.
he will buy that auto shotgun, but he would add sound effects. And not just like when he's shooting, but just constantly as soon as it's out.
He'd pretend it was a vacuum cleaner running around the map. It's really frustrating. Neo's going to go down to A. That is a big opening and an easy enough peek to be taking there behind the electric box. Mihu goes down next to somebody. So just as we said that there wasn't any clear path, well, it certainly is now. They can get the bomb plant down, and Virtus.pro, again, given how far ahead they are, they should probably swiftly think about just saving this. I think they already are, in fact.
Yeah, Alligator posted up in a corner. Somebody with 1 HP, that's the most unfair battle I've seen in a while. They'll take it, though, on the side of VP, but still not be enough to actually go for this retake. They do have money, though, to kind of waste on some of the players, but it doesn't go a long way on the CT side. It is pretty expensive to be able to replenish everything, so they're going to think better of it.
Where are Tyloo going to run when the bomb goes up? Like, that's the
Back
thing.
to the CT spot.
Yeah, but they don't know if Snacks is there or not, so like, they're going to exit this way. That actually makes a lot of sense. I was worried for just a minute about them potentially all going up with a bomb.
DD just with the action-esque death.
Yeah, he impaled himself on that AWP.
That should be like an add-on, right? Bayonet on op.
I think.
So if you just run like close quarter combats, get a whole new feel to it.
I'm not gonna lie. I think if you have a bayonet on your sniper rifle, you're doing the sniper role wrong. Like you've misunderstood what this is all about.
I mean, some players have crazy alternative playstyles, right? JW would probably love that stuff.
True.
There you go, though. Tyloo grab one more back, so prevent Virtus.pro from getting to a map point. And, well, with the double op setup coming out, which is a bit of a classic on the side of VP, they, ooh, nice shot from the scout there on Excurate. But with this heavy investment on the side of VP, they run out of money so quickly, so they're looking at an eco if they were to lose this.
Yeah, which is a bit interesting, isn't it? They did take some grenade damage in main on the Tyloo side, but it doesn't matter. Somebody's still going to pick up the kill on Neo. Snacks gets one in return, but they've again let just one terrorist play out with that AK-47 in the A yard. And one shot this deep in, it's a good job that Bialy picks him up because you can just do so much damage being in the A yard. Now instead they're going to start to rotate the bomb on over. Pasha was in main for a minute. Bialy has to stand his ground just a second longer, but he can't. DD will take him down, and a missed shot coming in from Snacks. When the bomb goes down, they need to have got one more kill. Otherwise, I don't think this retake can really work. Double AWP retake, the thing that we always warn about, the one thing you don't want to have to do. And are they even going to stick around? Pasha gets a kill, but again, DD's snuck up very close. And oh my God, Pasha still takes him down. That's almost point-blank range. And now Bentet, 1 versus 2, is going to be able to get the first kill. Snacks kind of lingering back there. The spray is almost perfect. And that should probably be it. I don't think there's a lot of time here for Snacks to really do anything. So even in spite of everything that Pasha put on the table, Snacks is going to get the kill and then run. So 14-9.
That was a ballsy strafe from Bentet.
Yeah. Yeah, they could have backfired maybe.
Yeah. Snacks missing two shots. He's definitely capable of hitting as well. It could have been the end of Tyloo. So Tyloo are hanging on, but it's by the skin of their teeth, really. Good part for them right now is the fact that Virtus.pro do have to eco. They have the saved up on Snacks, but outside of that, not really a whole lot to work with. CZ's going to be dropped over to Mihu. Well, we'll see. Oftentimes, I find myself saying, like, these rounds should be a given. Like, Tyloo are going to be able to pick this up, no problem. But they end up, it seems like they play too timid, knowing up that they're against one saved op. So yeah, tempo slows down, and they're allowed to find frags on the one side with the saved op. Excurate, though, start things off on Mihu. So that's the ZZ down at least. So one threat neutralized.
You brought up this point earlier about Virtus.pro closing out games.
Yeah. It's
not panic. We're not in panic territory yet, you know, but
we're getting there.
It's getting to the point where, you know, the kind of sort of bonus energy that you could go into map number 2 with is slowly sort of dwindling, right? Like you're slowly getting to the point where you start to feel like, instead of saying like, yeah, high fives all around, it was like, good.
God damn.
Yeah.
We escaped that one.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, you know, you want to give yourself a bit of a break every once in a while and just have that feeling that, you know, actually we did a pretty good job. And
because we have to keep in mind, Virtus.pro had a very, very good T side.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the kind of thing you want to end on, right? That kind of a high. Like, we played well. Like, sure, they got a couple of rounds here and there, but overall, we were the better team by a significant margin in that first half. But yeah, Snacks finally going to be able to get into the fray of things with that op. Might be able to find more, but Bentet's going to close him out. But Tyloo turns with a deagle. The birthday boy is fragging out wild, and Posh is going to join him as well. He might be able to deny the bomb plant here.
I mean, he has. There's only 14 seconds as well, so they don't have all the time in the world to actually do this. Pasha sneaking on in. He's going to get one kill. That's very, very scary.
Well,
imagine if he actually gets the kill on the guy planning the bomb the first time around, then all of the pressure would have been on the last T player to, well,
probably a favorable position for Pasha. Like, imagine
Yeah.
how easily he can duck and weave in between the trains at that point.
Yeah.
With what, 13 seconds or so left in the round.
Yeah.
That's very doable for Virtus.pro.
Well, 10-14 is the scoreline. Rifles back in the hand of the Polish team, and we'll see what they can do. I mean, I still think they're in a good enough position. I'm not super worried for them at the moment, but
yeah. The only issue right now is that, of course, for every buy, utility is going to be limited, and they're going to have to go back to an eco almost immediately unless they decide to do a pretty hefty save early on in a round.
a little bit of damage onto AE, but Neo might get completely caught. Indeed, he will be. Bialy and Mihu to follow it up, so this is just a complete shutdown. Somebody... Oh, good timing. That's very well done. He heard the sound of the guy running and he just thought, listen, if I spray now, it's going to work. Oh, yes, the kill on Bialy as well. 1 versus 4 turned into a one-on-one in a matter of, what, 5 seconds. That's almost unbelievable. Now, Pasha's got the USP out. Somebody's making a lot of noise, and he's got the knife as well. This should be an easy one for Pasha to win. Walking up behind him, and he's just lining it up.
Don't play with your food.
Why not just use the AWP, Pasha, please? This is how games are lost. He's sneaking up behind him, and somebody's not turning around. This is the longest hunt that we've seen in a long time. Pasha just having a little bit too much fun at the moment. It should be easy. The bomb is on the other side as well. I have no idea why he hasn't finished it. Finally he does it. Oh, Pasha, don't do this to us. Just don't do it.
Like, I can foresee a world where somebody goes down Pop Dog, right? And it doesn't matter if he makes noise or whatever. But Pasha messes up like the latch onto the ladder or the drop off, makes a sound, and we see somebody just do a 180 to end it all. And I'm curious what goes on TeamSpeak amongst the Virtus.pro guys as they see Pasha just following for what feels like an eternity. Dear Lord.
If I was on the TeamSpeak at that point, I would be yelling.
I was about to say, like, you'd try to lift him up and throw him off his PC, but it's Pasha.
Yeah,
so it's going to take a bit.
You're not going to win that, are you?
Would have been easier if it's Bialy or Mihu doing it, and then Pasha sitting next to them.
Well, it was really good entertainment, though.
It definitely was.
15-10 as Virtus.pro are just 1 round away from being able to pick up this map. Even with a little bit of a stutter towards the end, I still think they've done a really fine job at the moment. And you see the weaponry on Tyloo is just so disappointing right now.
1 AK. That's all they have to work with. That's on somebody. He's hanging out in A main. DD's going to have a rough time being able to drop into Pop Dogger. He's going to have to wait for somebody else to draw some attention. Question is where that is going to be. I do have X-Curate set up in main with somebody, so might be a bit of a tag team duo going out of main, but they don't really have any utility. DD is the only one with a flash, and he's going to use that for Pop. Oh, that works.
That was very well done, wasn't it? It wasn't complicated in any way. Unfortunately for them, Mihu and Bialy are still holding the yard out here, and with Bentet almost going down, he did get a kill, but they're just solo on health. But look at the turnaround there. Snacks to close out the game, 16-10 in favor of Virtus.pro. Really a fine job overall here for the Polish side. Yeah, some stretching going on, and they're going to be ready for map number 2.
Yeah, they definitely should be, and a pretty good call, a pretty good game overall, really, from Virtus.pro, especially that T side. I think is what they can look back on with the most positive memories.
Absolutely. I mean, it wasn't the complete Virtus.pro tilt, you know. Like, I think they managed to clean it up. We were just getting worried preemptively. It's going to get exciting. We're going to see what happens for map number 2. So stay with us, and we'll be right back.